Hello ladies, thank you for joining our party this week. My name is Megan Gaston and I'm very excited to share mascara makeup with you this week. So throughout the course of the week, I am going to be introducing you to the various products that make up the mascara makeup. We have a variety of products from a highlight, which is actually a foundation shade. We have contours, we have lip and cheek, we have eyeshadows, we have a great skincare line, we have a setting powder, and we have these amazing smelling perfumes. And I'm going to talk to you about all of those this week. I'm hoping that if you already know about mascara makeup, maybe you already wear it, I will be able to teach you something new or share a product with you in a different way that you didn't know how you could use it. Or if you have no idea what mascara makeup is, and you're just here to learn a little bit more about it, I hope that I can teach you what you need to know in order to be successful with this makeup. So as someone who is a makeup lover, I absolutely love makeup. I have tried an overabundance of makeup. I have spent more money than I care to admit on makeup. This makeup is the best that I have found for my particular skin. It provides the best coverage. It provides the longest lasting coverage. It's so lightweight, I can't feel it on my face. And it just gives me like this flawless 3D look that I hadn't been able to achieve with other products. The best part about this makeup is that it is quick, it is easy, it's customizable, and it's affordable. Each one of the foundation, which is called Highlight and Mascara, the 10s are $14, and so are the lip and cheek and contours. Some of the other 10s, they vary. The perfume, I believe, is $22, and the eyeshadows, I think, are $12. But bottom line, very affordable makeup. You can get an entire 10 of foundation for $14. If you're trying to order from another company, you're going to be spending probably upwards of $30 depending on what you're getting. So I love that this makeup is affordable, and I love that it is compact and easy. So when you send me a natural light indoor selfie, which I have a graphic if you have any questions. Once you send that to me, I am going to build you a customized list of products for you to choose from. I'm going to match you to a foundation highlight. I'm going to match you to a brightening highlight. I'm going to match you to a contour. And then I'm going to offer a suggestion for a lip and cheek, but that's completely up to you and your preference. And then I'm going to tell you, if you want an illuminator, that you should probably get on there and pick the one that you like the best. And so once I give you a list of the products in the colors that I recommend, then it is up to you to build your palette and pick the items that are most important to you that fit within your budget, because what I want is for this to be quick and easy for you, but I want it to be affordable. So if you choose the 4 10s, which would probably be your highlight, your brightening highlight, your contour, and a lip and cheek, then you would have 4 10s and you would be eligible for a compact, which this is the quad compact, meaning it holds 4 10s. They're so pretty. You get to choose your pattern. It just lifts up, and inside is a mirror. There we go. A mirror, and this is magnetic, so your 10s just pop in there, and you get to choose the things that you want in here. When you're done with 1 10, you pop it out, you order a new one and pop your new one in. You don't have to buy all new products just because you've used up 1 10. So this is a quad, which fits 4, but maybe you want to add on the illuminator, and then I'm going to talk about a shade that is my absolute favorite, that's a redness corrector. I have a lot of redness happening on my face, and so I use that redness corrector every day. So maybe you're going to want to add a little bit more than the 4 10s so that you can completely cover everything that you're wanting to cover. Then if you order 8 10s, then you get the quad, but this is a hack stack. So this is basically 2 of those in one. So 4 10s fit on top, and then the 4 10s fit on bottom. And I believe on this one that if you fit your 4 10s in here, you can also fit something else. So let's just take a little look-see here. So here is a 10, and then so I think you can fit 6. Yep, you can. You can fit 6 on top and 6 on bottom in this compact. So you'll fit 4 across the bottom and then 2 more sideways across the top. So this one would hold 6 and 6, which would make it would be able to hold 12 total. So maybe you want to add a few eyeshadows. I love how all of my makeup fits in one compact. It's quick and easy. I went to go get my hair done a few days ago, and I didn't have time to do my makeup beforehand, and I knew I would have plenty of time while I was processing. And so I just took my palette with me, took my brushes with me, and I did my makeup while I was processing in the chair. It was quick and easy. I loved that I could just take the one compact and I didn't have to pack a big bag, which is what I used to have to do when I took my makeup places. I'd have a couple makeup bags because not everything would fit in one. Also, when you order, you're going to get, depending on what you order, these cards. These cards are wonderful because they teach you or show you where to place things. So it'll show you where to place your contour, where to place your highlight, where to place your lip and cheek, and then where to place your illuminator. If you order eyeshadows, it will also send an eyeshadow card that gives you an idea of some different looks that you can do. And it will give you a light shade, a medium shade, and a darker shade, and it'll show you kind of where to put them. On the back, it'll give you some more ideas on how to do an eye look. So I like that they include those. This makeup is really created for busy moms, and they try to give you as many helpful items like those cards as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and get started at this video. I'm already 7 minutes in, and I know you all are busy, so I want to go ahead and get started. For me, my favorite brush is the Buffy brush. The Buffy brush, which, by the way, our brushes are wonderful. I highly recommend that you get at least one brush. They're very good quality. They're the best quality brush that I've ever used. But for $36, you get 2 brushes in one because every one of our brushes has dual ends. The Buffy brush, which is my favorite, it is the best for a full coverage or for people with large pores. The bristles are much denser together, and so that helps provide that fuller coverage. I have an artist palette, which is a gigantic palette, but it is getting full already. So here are my shades. I'm currently working on building up some lip and cheek shades, but these are the shades that I'm going to use for my face. So I'm going to use Linen, this really light shade. That's my brightening highlight. That's what I'm going to use. And then I'm going to use White Peach as my all over shade. I'm going to use Aspen right here for all of my redness. And I'm going to use Olive right here as my contour. So I wanted you to see the shades. Now I do have some extra shades in here that I'm not using, and those are just shades for me that I've gotten to test over, depending on if I have gotten a tan or if I have different things to cover. And so you won't need all of these various shades. You're going to mainly just go for a brightening highlight and an all over highlight. And then, of course, the contours and the lip and cheek is up to you. And then at the end, I'll use this shade, which is a bronzer, but it is our perfume that smells amazing. So I'm just going to do this really fast to give you an idea of how quick and easy you can do your all over face. So with the Buffy brush, I start with the smaller end, and the first thing that I do is I go into my, sorry, I'm trying to make it to where don't see all that. I go into my Aspen, and so I just kind of tap it in there or drag a little bit, and it gets a little bit of product. You can tell there is hardly anything on this brush because a little bit goes a long way, which is why this stuff lasts. You can see that some of my 10s where you can see the bottom, I've been using these since February. So this does such a good job of erasing my redness. So I'm just going to put this anywhere that I have some redness that I want to cover. So as I put this on there, that redness just immediately disappears. This is a huge confidence booster for me because redness was something that I have really struggled with. I have tried many products to try to naturally get rid of my redness, but it's not going anywhere. So this helps color correct. You can see already that I have no redness left where I put the Aspen. So the Aspen is like a magic eraser for redness. It's just crazy. I'm going to use the same end and I'm going to go into my brightening highlight and I'm going to make a V basically on my face. So you go from the corner of your eye down to the corner of your nose and back up. And so that's where you're going to put your brightening shade. And you literally cannot mess this makeup up. So let's say you get it somewhere that you don't want it to go, or you get too much, or you don't get enough. It's so easy to correct. And then I also put my brightening shade right there between my eyes, down my nose, right here, and then just a little bit that's left over on my chin. From there, I'm gonna use the bigger side of my Buffy brush and I'm gonna tap into my olive and I'm going to drag from the top of my ear down to about the corner of my eye, drag a line, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And as I am doing the rest of my application, this is going to warm up and it's going to make it easier to spread. Once I get my cheeks done, then I tap this along my forehead to get the rest of that darker shade off my brush. And then I'm going to use the big side again, and I'm going to go into my all over highlight, which is White Peach. I'm just drag. You can see how a little bit goes so far. I dab here, and then I'm going to get just a little bit more so I can drag, and then just dab up here. Now I have everything placed on my face. I know it looks a little funky, but it's going to blend out really well. So I'm using the big end of my Buffy brush still, and I'm going to blend it out. So what I do is I do like a stippling motion. So I'm pressing and I'm going down my face at the same time. I'm pressing it in. I'm not swiping it. If you go to swipe, you're going to pull the product off your face, and you don't want that. So I'm stippling. And I like to take my brightening highlight up on my eyelids as like a primer for my eyeshadows. I haven't blended into my contour yet. I leave that for last, so. I'm blending up. Then I'm going to come down on my neck a little. And then I'm gradually bringing this over to cover up my lip that I didn't place any product on. Blending on this eye. So once I have the bulk of my face blended, I'm going to use the same side of my brush and I'm going to go and I'm going to swirl my contour to blend it up. You want to blend up, you don't want to blend down. So I'm just swirling to blend it in. Now I still like a pretty defined line here. Sorry, my dog is barking. That didn't sound like a bark, but that's what it was. I like sort of a defined line here. That's just the style that I like. I don't know why she's barking. Let me go see what her problem is. Okay, sorry about that. She might bark again, I don't know. So I like a defined line here. And so I don't blend it out as well on the bottom, but I do swirl and blend up. And then I want to blend along my forehead line. So I'm swirling in like a circular motion to blend this in. And if you blend a little too much, Millie, that's my little dog, I'm sorry. I think that's what the big dog was barking at, was her. So if you blend too much, then it's really easy to go in and add more product, which I set my palette down when I went to go see what she was barking at. So I want a little bit more of the dark shade on my forehead, so I'm going to add just a little bit more here. And I'm going to blend it in. Okay, now from there I'm gonna do my blush, my lip and cheek, I cannot talk today, I don't know what's going on, shade. Now I'm trying to just stick with one brush so that you can see that you don't have to invest in a lot of brushes when you're getting started. However, the Buffy brush is a full coverage brush, and so you have to go really light-handed on the lip and cheek when you apply with this brush, because otherwise that lip and cheek will be really bright. That happened to me yesterday on a video. So I'm gonna go with a shade that I've never used before. This is the shade Nude. It's very pretty. That is the shade I'm gonna go with, try out today. I'm gonna use the bigger side of the Buffy brush to apply this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dot it on there like that off my brush, and then I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna blend it. So even though this is a nude shade, it does have a little bit of a mauve color to it. It's really pretty. So then I'm gonna just blend this in. This is a very pretty color. I didn't know what I would think of this color, but I absolutely love this color. It's blending so well. I don't think I blended my nose very well, so I'm going to touch that up really fast. Sorry. You can see that I'm pressing in on my nose. I have pretty large pores on my nose, and so when I'm up here, I'm pressing that into those areas so that I have really good, clean, full coverage there. Okay, so I am completely done with my foundation. I know that that took me about 10 minutes to do, but I was talking to you through the whole time. I'm gonna go ahead and add some nude to my lips. And I'm gonna top it with Sunshine State. It's a lip and cheek. It's a shimmery one. It doesn't have a lot of color, but it's such a pretty topper. It's shimmery and gorgeous. Okay, one thing that I do is I absolutely love perfume number 2 to use as a bronzing shade, and that's how I do my jawline contour. It's such a gorgeous shade. So I'm gonna use the big end of my Buffy brush. I'm doing a video. I'm gonna use the big end of my Buffy brush, and I'm gonna bring it along here. This stuff smells so good. Like, I can't even describe how amazing it smells. But I'm adding that to my jawline to give a little bit of definition there. And I'm gonna drag it down my neck. And you guys, I can smell this all day long. It smells so amazing. I really like a matte finish for my makeup. I do not like shine on my face unless it's an illuminator. So I do use a setting powder. I had to grab it. My favorite setting powder right now, which I always am liking to try new things, but right now is this Laura Mercier translucent powder. And so I get this at Ulta. We do have a setting powder that comes in the little tin that is also really good. It just came back in stock if you want to try it. That way it would fit in your compact. That is a great option as well. So I do what's called baking, and that is where you put your translucent powder, your setting powder, on heavy in areas that might be a problem to you. I put it on under my eyes, in the corner of my nose, and then of course down the top and side of my nose, because my nose is my biggest problem area, the place that I'm the most self-conscious about. I also place it on the front of my chin, and then I place it in basically my T-zone. So this brush is our powder brush. It has a flat end for putting your powder on, and then it has a more pointed end, and this is really good for getting in underneath your eyes. I'm going to use the flat end to place my translucent powder all over my face. So when I go all over my face, I do a really thin layer. I only go thick in those areas that I mentioned just a second ago. So I just put some powder in the lid, I tap my brush in there, and then I just swirl it. And then once I get this on my face, I go in and I knock off the excess from the areas that I put on heavier. Now we have a blush and, sorry, I'm struggling to think here. It's called B Squared, but it's a poofier brush for powders. And I also really like to use it, I'll show it to you, trying to stick as few brushes as possible at you on this first video. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. But here is that B Squared or blush and bronzer brush. It has a smaller end and then a big poofy end. This is what I typically use to just go over my face to make sure I knock off all the product that I don't need. And I also use the smaller brush to blend down on my neck really good and just make sure that everything is covered. So my face, before I started, I had several red areas and some inconsistencies in my skin tone, and now my face looks amazing. One of the things that I really like about this makeup is all the makeup I used before, I worked really hard to cover up anything on my skin, and so my face often looked very cakey because I was trying to cover up all of my imperfections. And with this makeup, I can get that amazing smooth look that I'm going for without covering up everything. So what I'm talking about, I'm trying to find my eyebrow brush here. What I'm talking about is you can still see my freckles through this makeup, but they just look so natural and pretty, and it just makes me feel even better about myself that I'm showing some of my natural beauty, my skin, through this makeup. So it just looks so much more natural, but it also makes me look like flawless. And it's an incredible feeling. I really hope that if you give this makeup a try, that you will also love it. I'm here to help with any questions that you might have. Please don't feel like you're bothering me. I want to share this makeup with you. It makes me feel really good to be able to share this makeup and to help other people feel pretty. Like, that is something that makes me really happy. So please reach out to me if you have questions. I'm going to do a real quick eye. This is what I called my mommy eye because I don't have a whole lot of time to do this, do the real extravagant looks anymore. This brush is the Blend and Tap brush. It's always my go-to. I reach for it. I'm going to do a real quick Sabrina all over my lid. Sabrina is like a cream, shimmery cream shade. It's a pretty neutral shade. I just like doing this all over my whole lid. Then I'm going to flip it over and use the poofier end, and I'm going to go into, let me double check the name of this shade. It's one of my favorites. I use it every day. Rome. Rome is like a goldish tan color. So dip into that, and I go to my crease line and I do the bottom part of my eye. And then from there, I'm going to use Bend and Snap because it's one of my new shades and I'm really liking it. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to do just my crease in that. Bend and Snap. It looks kind of a lavendery color online, but it's a little bit more of a darker purpley mauve color. It's really pretty. So just bring that in a little bit. And then with the corner of my eye, I like for it to shimmer a little bit. So I'm going to do this rose gold color. It's called Soulmate. It's my favorite to do the corner of my eye, just to add a little shimmer and pop in that area. And then I usually also bring just a little bit down underneath my eye. And then that's all I do for my eye on a normal daily basis, unless I have a little extra time. For my eyeliner, I really like this tattoo liner by Kat Von D. Or I also, my day-to-day one that I use most of the time, here it is. It's Estee Lauder. This is the one that I use the most. I use the brush that is the Hotline brush. It has this eyebrow pencil on one end, and it has a defined end on this side, and that's what I use to do my eyeliner. So I just, with this liquid, I tap my brush on it to get a little bit of product, and then I just press it into my eyelids. I don't know why a little black line makes me feel so much more pretty, but it does. So I love eyeliner. I'm looking in my mirror up here, sorry. Now, I've had a problem with raccoon eyes in the past where I've tried so many products and I get towards the end of the workday and I have all of this black running under my eyes. It was so embarrassing. So it took me a while to find a mascara and an eyeliner combo that wouldn't run. I highly, highly recommend this Estee Lauder eyeliner if you are having the issues. It's worth the money to not be constantly embarrassed by having black underneath your eyes. It's just Estee Lauder Little Black Liner. It's wonderful. And then not everyone does a full line on bottom, but I do. Sometimes I use the leftover, my eyeliner, to do any of my little spots in my hair that I want darkened up on my eyebrow. But I usually only do it on this one right eyebrow because it's the one that I had my microblading done on. And we're still in the touch-up phase on that. So hopefully eventually I won't have to do that. And then last thing is my mascara. This is my absolute favorite mascara. It's called They're Real, and it's the Benefit Mascara. I get this from Ulta. It does a great job of separating my lashes and not having them clump together. And it also does a great job of staying in place and not running down my face during the day. I've been completely sopping wet from power washing the ceiling of my deck, and the stuff did not budge. So it is amazing. I think this is the first time that I've done mascara on a live. I always make stupid faces when I do mascara, so I try to avoid putting it on if I can get away with it in picture or in videos. I usually do it when I get done. Going live is so much harder than I ever imagined possible. Because if you mess up, there's no taking it back. There's no restarting. It's there for everyone to see. And of course, I always have interruptions. Like my dog barked earlier. Jace came in to see what I was doing. I always have interruptions. Even when Jetty's not here, I always am getting interrupted. So one cool thing about this mascara is, I don't know if you can see, but it has these pieces that like kind of poke out at the end, and it makes it perfect for spreading lashes and getting in at the bottom. Now, if you happen to make a mistake, which if I don't make one, it'll be a miracle. But if you make a mistake with your mascara, it's really important that you let it dry completely before you go wipe it off, because it smears less and it takes off less makeup. All right, ladies, if you have made it this far with me, thank you so much for sticking it out. I am going to finish my makeup with a little bit of finishing spray. I use Urban Decay All Nighter. You can usually get the travel size, or the sample size is really cheap when you're first trying some new products. I don't recommend investing in the full size products unless you know that they're for sure gonna work for you, because this stuff can be so expensive. But I just spritz it, let it fall on my face, and then I'm going to let it dry. Thank you so much for watching this video, from learning from me. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Please don't order a foundation shade, a highlight shade, without getting a color match. Don't worry about sending me a makeup-free selfie. It will stay between us. I'm not going to be sharing those anywhere. I share my makeup-free selfies all over Facebook, so you don't need to be self-conscious or worry about that. Just let me help you get the best shade of makeup so that you can get the best coverage possible. Thank you, ladies, and have a wonderful day.